Are you retired and trying to live on a fixed income? Do you have credit card debt you cannot afford to pay? Has it upset your peace of mind? Are you being threatened by debt collectors? Are you worried about a credit card lawsuit?
Hi, my name is Mel Thompson. I had $63,000 in credit card debt I could not afford to pay. A recent divorce and a faltering business had put me in the hole. I quickly realized I could not keep up with the payments, so I focused on paying for monthly essentials and stopped paying my credit card debt. Being close to retirement and a fixed income, I realized my best option was to stop paying those unsecured credit card debts and not to file bankruptcy. But then, rather than stick my head in the sand and wait for the collection letters and phone calls and perhaps an eventual court summons, I did a lot of reading and research online. Eventually, I found a legal, effective way to resist debt collectors and collection attorneys and credit card banks. I helped myself, and since then I have helped many other older people help themselves out of their credit card debt problems.
Many people I have helped have first been victimized by debt relief scams, like debt settlement or debt negotiation. They fell for the promise of debt relief. They were seduced into letting someone else handle their credit card debt problem for them. They fell for lines like, "We are the professionals. We negotiate with credit card banks every day." The easiest way to look at it is this. If you cannot afford to pay your credit card debt, then you cannot afford to pay $1,500 or more for credit card debt relief services on top of that debt.
You cannot allow yourself to be intimidated by debt collector threats. The only power debt collectors have is to tell you scary lies. This credit card debt you cannot afford to pay is not a problem as bad as skin cancer. It's more like getting rid of some warts. If you change your perception of debt collectors, I can show you why debt collectors and collection attorneys have no real power over you. I have helped many people leave their credit card debt behind them. I was able to show them how to resist debt collectors because they were willing to educate themselves about their debt problems.
My program is not for everyone. You have to be willing to educate yourself, to act on what you have learned, and to confidently stand up to debt collectors and collection attorneys with the tools I give you. The simple truth is debt collectors will stop pursuing you when they realize you are going to be harder to collect from than other less educated consumers. I will show you how to communicate with debt collectors in writing to legally stop their collection activities against you. The same is true for junk debt buyers and collection attorneys. Once you remind them in writing about what documents they need to produce in court to get a judgment against you, they will decide to focus on the other 90% of consumers who owe, but unlike you, do not legally resist them.
Unfortunately, no one spells this out for you, truthfully, all in one place. It took me months to put all the pieces together. I learned from my mistakes made communicating with debt collectors and collection attorneys on the way as well. All of the information is out there, but I spent months curating it, sifting the true facts from the untrue, the rumors, and the falsehoods.
I make every effort to support everything I tell you in my materials with references from publications and websites like the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and other credible sources like the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau and the Fair Trade Commission. Did you know that Chase Bank was fined over $200 million for generating false affidavits to win in court against indebted consumers? You can Google that yourself.
The debt relief industry is not interested in sharing this path to genuine debt relief with you because there is no money in it for them. My materials cost less than some pharmacy copays. I charge you just enough to make you take this seriously enough to learn it, to see the light, and to act on what you have learned to put your debt behind you. just like I did. Also, I am not an attorney. But part of what I show you is how to find the right local affordable consumer rights attorney to have in your hip pocket should you need them. And remember this, they make more money suing debt collectors than charging you for their services.
Before I forget, here's a tip on how to deal with debt collectors over the telephone. When a debt collector calls you, you simply have to tell them you do not discuss your personal financial affairs over the telephone with strangers. Really, the caller could be anyone, including an identity thief.
Unfortunately, as we get older, that becomes a lonely business. It is a secret our self-dignity will not allow us to share with other people we know. So, we end up falling prey to debt relief sales pitches or being intimidated by banks, debt collectors, or collection attorneys. It is harder to bounce back from that debt when you're older. It becomes depressing, stressful, possibly even life-threatening.
Here is your chance to avoid being victimized and to regain control of your finances. If you need help now, you can check out my credit card debt survival ebooks at creditsaber.com. And you can read dozens of my blog posts on credit card debt at creditsaber.com. And just so you know, all of my materials come with a 60-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. At this point, I hope you will ask yourself what I asked myself when I consciously began the process of non-payment. If I cannot pay, then in the worst case, what have I got to lose if I do this? You should act now before it becomes too late to get control of your finances and to maintain your security.
Hi, my name is Mel Thompson. If you've seen my credit card debt videos or visited my website, creditsaber.com, and read my credit card debt posts, then you know who I am.